They set up! It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
Welcome to the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
And we got two amazing friends here today.
I guess I'm just gonna point that way.
Yeah, it's
Hello.
like Brady Bunch.
I guess it's
Stefan and Mitch from Mitch or Drag Mitch to Hell.
Yes, that's
You
it.
bet.
let's do that. There we
Yes. I was explaining Drag Mitch to Hell to some people this weekend in Windsor, and they are very intrigued by the premise of the show.
We just had our season 4 premiere where we did the Toxic Avenger. Mitch, I think it's an obvious thing. Mitch hated his time. I'm going to spoil that one right off the bat.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you aware
but-
that there is a big budget remake coming?
Yeah, so there will be crossover between that and a pick on my list. So
Ooh.
we can talk about that when it comes up. How's that sound?
All right,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting.
Yes.
Well, this topic came up because somebody on this panel has a film coming out. Yes. And let's see, I'll just throw this up there because it might be Twilight Ride at the Forest City Film Festival. Now, of the five of us, I guess, yeah, who would you think it might be?
James?
Do I guess?
Is that any secret project?
Mitch definitely has to guess.
Yeah, it's me, Rob.
Oh, is it you, Mitch?
It is me. Yes.
Really? When is that happening?
That is happening October 15th. It's a Sunday evening, 7 p.m. in London, where we shot a bunch of the movie, My Hometown. And there's a special connection to this podcast, which is why I mentioned it to you, Rob, because Rob, you're in my movie as an actor.
Really?
Yes. We're all very surprised here.
I know. So
But yeah,
much
Rob,
surprise
you're-
going on this night.
Yeah, get to see your face on the big screen, Rob.
Right? So yes, I will be there. There was a little bit of worry only because there's the other James. There he is. Ran into him this weekend too. This coming weekend is our film festival, Chatham-Kent International Film Festival, and Rochelle's flying in to do a screening and stick around for Crowfest. She goes home that day. But we hadn't nailed down her flights yet. So when I finally got a hold of her, she goes, "Nah, I'm an early riser. Let's get, 7 a.m. It's like, sweet. So I take her to Detroit early in the morning, and I can still get to London at 7 p.m. to watch Twilight Ride.
It's a lot of road, man.
Yeah,
Right?
I appreciate your commitment there, Rob. It's a lot of driving. So
That's
thank
a
you
true
for your
friend move.
support.
Totally
Yes,
worth it.
Stefan will be in attendance as well. We'll have a lot of the cast and crew will be there for the big world premiere. So I'm excited. And yeah, I pitched this to you, Rob, because my film is a bit of a revenge movie. So I thought this might be a fun
Nice.
topic to explore.
A very nice connection. Now, wait, did you just say Stefan will be there?
Yes. So you're not going to go anymore.
I'm still mad at him because look at my face. Okay, it's not growing back very
You look
fast.
beautiful. You look so nice. If I shaved, you'd be like, what is that fucking possum doing here? It would not be nice. You look good. I feel like I'm just like, I'm elevating you, baby.
still
You're
don't
on the
like
next
it.
level. I'm putting you on a pedestal now.
It
You're
reached a
Adonis.
It reached a point this weekend because I was at Northern National Collectors Convention, and one of my friends was there, Jeff McDonald. He's Messiah Complex Cosplay, and he's looking at me going, "Something's weird about you," right? So I told him, and he goes, "That's it." And then I showed him the picture of clean shaven me. Okay, 3 minutes later, when he was done laughing and I could finally talk to him again, I said, "Don't do that." But yeah.
Just to prove that you are the best person in the entire world, Rob, and I appreciate you.
Oh, dude, no. Like I said, I would do anything for you guys for filming, obviously. And it was worth it because that was a blast.
I feel like it was miserable. Like, I'm surprised that you said you had a good time because, like, if I was in that, I'd just be like, I'm sweating. This is gross. It's sticky and it's like oozy. Like, it's all the things that I don't want to be involved with.
Okay, real quick, Aaron just figured out. I saw Aaron all weekend, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's it. I was clean shaven." That's it. I thought there was something different, but couldn't figure it out. And that's what it is, because it's there, but it's not there.
Yeah.
So people have a hard time. And yes, your makeup people tried to kill me at least twice with that slime.
Yeah. It looks good though.
It looked amazing because they put slime all over my face to give that oozy look.
Okay.
But this is like thick slime. I mean, literally, they had it in a jar. They had to pull it out and like almost cut it to get it away from the jar.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's both like oil, but also like a salt. Like it's so weird. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
And they put it all over my head. And every once in a while, it would slip over my mouth, and it's like bubble would pop, and it's like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
But man, it looked so cool.
Yeah.
I've showed a
I'm
couple people the mask,
excited.
but I've never published anything because we gotta wait.
we gotta wait. Yeah, it's gonna be a good reveal.
That's right.
I think I think I'm gonna get up there. I gotta go see that.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's not for Twilight Ride, but still go to Twilight Ride.
Oh,
That's
okay.
for the one Stefan filmed.
You could come to
oh,
both
okay.
whenever there's a screening of Head Like a Hole. Come to that too.
Yeah.
Just come to
Okay.
all the screenings. Yeah, my
Yeah,
movie
just-
has no slime. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Oh no, Twilight Ride. I'm still. I remember you talked about it a little bit, and you had a few things posted and whatnot. No, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
He's going to be in the audience with a sign that says "Need more slime." You'll be able to pinpoint him.
Perfect.
Okay, well, let's get to the topic then. There we go. Top 5 revenge films. And as always, our guests go first. So we'll start with Mitch, since this was his idea.
That sounds
Way
good.
to
Sure.
put it.
All right. I wanted to pick revenge movies that I felt like were maybe not necessarily going to be included by everybody. I know that there are some titles that are sort of definitive revenge type films. So these are definitely revenge movies, but I don't know that we're all going to have them. Number 5 on my list is a Steven Spielberg directed film called Munich. I'm not sure if anybody else has that on their list.
It is not, but that is a good movie.
Stefan's frowning at me disapprovingly.
Weirdest sex scene, man.
Yeah.
Very angriest sex scene.
I don't know. 300, the sequel with
Oh.
Ava Green and that one
Also
dude.
very
That
strange.
was friggin' angry set.
Oh, yeah, but and who used slow
History of
motion?
violence too.
Right?
Or
We'll just do top 5 weird sex scenes.
Showgirls.
That's got to be a top 10, man. I
Yeah.
can't limit that to 5.
Aaron messaged me later. Oh, he did ask a question. He goes, "How do indie movies get into the festival?" You submit.
Yeah.
That's how you
That's
do
all
it.
it takes. You just click
Simple as
submit.
that.
I will message it, Aaron, and I'll explain it all. But there's a film. Oh my gosh, English. There is a website called Film Freeway, and that is like the portal to every festival known to humankind. And you go on there, you submit your picture, and put in your name, and pay the fee, and you get submitted to a festival. Whether you get accepted or not, that's another story entirely.
That's up to judges like us.
Exactly.
Well, me and you, not James.
Now I know why they didn't submit the film to Chatham. He was afraid of the judges.
I don't like being judged,
Right?
which is why I've got this movie coming out for all these people to see.
Exactly.
I hate public opinion.
I don't want to hear nobody's comments.
Yeah.
Shut down every comment thread. I ain't
That's
doing no
right.
interviews. Forget that. Nope.
Don't even look at me. Yep.
Everybody walk to the basement for the comments. That's when we get stuck.
All right,
Uh,
Stefan, what's your number 5?
Okay, so I have a varied list. You could have revenge against a person, group of people, like maybe a gang has wronged you in some way. I chose my first movie as a revenge film against an institution. So I picked Hell or High Water, directed by David Mackenzie, stars Chris Pine, Ben Foster. They're two brothers. The bank is about to foreclose on their their parents' home, and they decide to get revenge against the banks by robbing them and then cleaning the money through casinos in order to save their folks' home. So that's my first revenge movie.
That's
Nice.
that's good. And
Good
it's
pick.
mainstream. How did that
Thank you.
happen? How did you pick that?
How did I pick it?
It's mainstream, dude.
Well,
It's
Oh, all my picks are mainstream. I think pretty much. I wanted to reinterpret Revenge, so it's not just like Death Wish 1. All right, my
Yeah,
next pick's
exactly.
Death Wish 2. My
Yeah.
third pick's Death Wish 3.
There's my top 5. They
Yeah,
got
yeah.
5. All right, Jason, what is your number 5?
I had to make a quick addendum to my list just before we went on the air to add this one in because I forgot about it, but I just watched it like a few months ago. Peppermint, starring Jennifer Garner from 2018.
Oh yeah,
oh, nice.
I thought it was actually like a breath of fresh air to that style of movie. The action wasn't like as formulaic as you get with a lot of action flicks anymore. It just it moved well. It was original enough with her whole story.
Mhm.
I thought it was a really, really, really well done flick.
And as opposed to someone with a secret violent past, she disappears, gains a violent past, and then
Right.
That's the way to do it.
I'm gonna
Switch
go
it
on a
up.
revenge spree, so I'm gonna go learn how to like kill people with my fists and just learn how to do all sorts of bad shit.
Oh, James even said that was in his list of 10. Peppermint.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
great. It's a good flick.
Aaron brings up a point. Is Strange Brew a revenge movie? They're getting revenge on the brewery, and the brewery is getting revenge on the public. So,
I think that qualifies. I'm gonna stamp that one.
yeah, judges have agreed. Okay, James, what's your number 5?
my number 5 it's a Korean film from 2010. It's called The Man from Nowhere, and
I've heard of that.
this one actually does involve a guy with a secret violent past, but yeah, and it's all basically about a guy with a secret violent special ops past who is a shut-in. He forms a bond with the young girl living in his building, and her mom rips off some drug dealers. They go after her, kill her, kidnap the daughter, who's this like Jason Bourne kind of guy's only friend in the world, and so he goes after them.
Well, Aaron agrees with you. Oh my God, that's an awesome movie.
It's a really good movie.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it,
It is
But-
it is awesome.
but I don't understand why she stole from the drug dealers.
She's a go-go dancer at a club, and she steals drugs from the club
As you do.
on the advice.
As you do. That's what I'm just thinking,
As
like-
one does.
Wait a minute. They were mad that you stole their product? How dare they? I just don't see the revenge there. This is just more like vigilanteism. No, I've heard it's good too. My number 5 is not The Crow. It is a Western that's got a really cool remake. It's True Grit. Like that is the ultimate slow burn revenge film.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I love
Yes.
I love the remake.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld, that was like her breakout role.
Yep.
And yeah, she was
Jeff
Fantastic.
Bridges was amazing. Is that
Yep.
you know? And you got to figure those are hard boots to fill with John Wayne. You know,
Yeah.
so
That and Barry Pepper in that one. I remember watching the remake,
Matt
and I'm like,
Damon.
why he's doing such a great job of sounding like Robert Duvall. And I go back and like it's been decades since I saw the original. I go back and look who played Barry Pepper's role in the original, Robert Duvall.
Mhm. Isn't there a Barry Pepper connection here, guys?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I'm basically Barry Pepper's biggest fan.
Yep.
But I'm in the minority. I didn't love the True Grit remake. I love Barry Pepper in the movie, but I was not a huge fan of the film. Unfortunately, I wanted to love it, but just didn't do a whole lot for me. But yeah, Barry Pepper is the man.
I agree. It did miss some beats, but I liked the modernization because when I watch the original, I find the editing from that period to be very slow editing. So that was the only thing that appealed to me with this one. That really much, like a whole bunch, was the faster editing.
Yeah, makes sense. And I'm aware that I'm in the minority as far as that movie goes, and that's okay.
That's right. All right, Mitch. What's your number 4?
My number 4 pick is a movie from 2018, directed by Lee Wanell. Is that? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name.
I believe so.
Yes. Say it, baby.
It's
Say it.
Upgrade. The
Oh.
Logan Marshall Green starring film about the guy who's, I believe it's his girlfriend or his wife gets killed in a car accident. He ends up being a quadriplegic. goes into a deep depression and then is given the a chip in the back of his neck that will allow him to move his body and do things again. And then he basically becomes just like a badass, I don't want to say half like cyborg version of himself. But it's a wonderful movie. It's incredibly violent. 90 minutes. It doesn't overstay its welcome. A perfect example of a revenge movie. It's just a great time and innovative and fun.
It also has a very negative ending, which Mitch is a huge fan of.
Yeah, I do enjoy a good downer ending.
Right?
And probably the most violent scene to evolve from a sneeze.
It's on my honorable mentions.
It's an intense movie.
It's the one I talked about where his whole body could move except for his head and neck.
Oh yeah.
So in one of the first fight scenes, the body is reacting because it's being controlled by an AI, where it would move his head out of the way of a punch.
Yep.
So it's a whole new added element to a fight choreography.
I totally missed that one for my list.
Yeah, the like physical acting in that is like wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
Watching him react to his body doing all of these ridiculous action things and smashing plates over people's heads and things. It's fantastic. Definitely check it out if you have not seen it.
Nice. All right, Stefan, can you top that one?
No, that almost was on my list as well. I figured you were going to play it, to be honest, Mitch, so I didn't like want to double up, but I also love it. I might even watch it after this. I don't know. But I picked Killing of a Sacred Deer as my next movie, the Yorgos Lanthimos film. This stars Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman, Barry Keoghan. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Can anybody help me?
Coogan.
I believe it's Coogan.
Coogan. Okay. The person Barry plays forms an attachment to Colin Farrell, who is a surgeon, and it's revealed pretty early on, so I'm not giving anything away, that he had operated on his father. He had passed away, so he kind of like feels like an ownership to like be a stand-in father figure to a certain extent to this character. And where it goes is just like really good stuff. It feels like a fairy tale a little bit when Barry's character starts to like enact his revenge on the family. It feels very much like divorced from reality, or like in some kind of like it's the real world, but not really. That really appeals to me because that's what I'm mostly interested in as well. Like I don't want to just see like a straight, super realistic thing. So huge fan of this movie. Think it's great. Love the director. And that's my number 4.
Nice.
It is great. Another one I completely missed.
Man, there's so many revenge movies, to be honest. Like,
yeah, it can be interpreted in so many ways, and there are just so many different variations on revenge itself. Not just like your straight up. Maybe I'm spoiling someone's list, but like a John Wick or Taken or something like that, which is I think the sort of classic revenge movie that you think of.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't even think of either of your picks, Stefan, and they're both great picks so far.
We're gonna keep going, man, because there's more on this list.
As long as the Toxic Avenger isn't on there, I'll
well, I guess we'll find out, because there is a Toxic Avenger connection.
I think I know what it is.
You do know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is cool. We're getting more than the "you killed me, so I kill you back" kind of story.
yeah.
I like that. All right, Jason, number 3.
This has made me
4.
rethink my list because yes, I've did all revenge action flicks, and you're right. There's more than just action revenge flicks.
Mm-hmm.
So I am now eliminating what I had for my number 4. I'm moving everything down and putting a new number 1 on my list.
Okay.
And I'll explain when we get there. So with that being said, then my number 4, come on, it was open a second ago, will be John Wick.
Yes.
Okay. There's still going to be action flicks, but yeah, John Wick, come on.
Honorable mention.
I'll just mention it.
It's John Wick. What everybody knows. It's strictly just Keanu Reeves going on a killing spree because they killed his dog. You don't get more quintessential revenge flick than that. So, and then what it gave us with the level of action and now the world that it has spawned,
Yep.
it had to be on the list.
See, that's the one I still haven't revisited, but my initial watch, it was like, it's just another action movie to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to revisit it to see if there's something there.
I haven't checked out the Continental yet.
Oh man, the Continental is intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the first two episodes, I think there's only 3. The first 2 episodes are each like almost an hour and a half. So
Okay.
it's gonna be
Dang.
like 3 mini movies because there's only 3 episodes. But
It's like half of an English season.
Mel Gibson is
Well-
hamming it up.
That's kind of a British style of production because that's how the Sherlock series with Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
They were all hour and a half long. They were like
There's
movies.
usually 6 of them.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Now, James has got one here. Last House on the Left. That's a fun one. That's an early Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Are you talking about the
Was that a
remake?
remake?
The remake.
Yeah, the remake.
No. She's in. That's like the Last House on the Street. It's not Last House on the Left.
There
But there is a Last House on the Left remake, though, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
there is.
Oh,
It's
there
just
was.
Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul's in it.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think
Yeah,
it's House
Garrett-
at the End of the Street.
Yeah.
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 But the remake, Garrett, it's not Garrett Dillahunt as the head bad guy. Oof.
Yep. James is even correcting me too. Nope, he says I'm wrong.
Yeah, I know Last House on the Left has that whole rig up with the shotgun and
No, that's
that was Last House on the
is
Left.
the remake. If I Spit on Your Grave.
All right, but
Am I getting my torture porn flicks? mixed up? Okay.
Yeah.
Which one has the
No,
my
microwave?
head's gonna
At the end where
explode.
the head in the
Right?
microwave.
All right.
The original Last House on the Left has way more insane stuff in it for a 1970s movie.
Oh, the teeth.
The teeth one, yeah. There's a castration in it. That's all I'll say, and it involves somebody's teeth doing the castrating.
Is there more to it than that? I think.
Yes, there is. But
Wow.
yeah, the context of it makes it even more disgusting.
Well, let's see what James has got.
I made a last minute switch to mine too. Just my number 4 is Sleepers.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I guess that would be.
I
wouldn't it?
did have the 2002 version of the Count of Monte Cristo in there just because it's a very classic ultimate revenge film. But I love Sleepers a lot more, and they do reference Count of Monte Cristo in there a bit. But yeah, just Brad Pitt, Jason Patrick,
Kevin Bacon being a great villain in that movie as well.
Kevin Bacon, yeah. Even with like the porn stash and like the shaggy hair and stuff. But I'm also I'm a big fan of narration and voiceover and stuff. And Jason Patrick's all throughout that movie is just awesome. De Niro in there too, Dustin Hoffman. It's just across the board awesome. And they get the ultimate revenge on the juvie guards that abused them.
And see, that's one I totally blanked on too. But yeah, that is perfect revenge film.
Yeah.
Man,
That's good.
That's one I have multiple friends have always hyped up for me over the years, and I've never watched it.
It's,
God.
Well,
Oh,
it's very
fun.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
about
long,
two and a half hours, I think.
slower movie, but
Okay.
it's really good.
Yes. Well, I have Robert De Niro in my pick. And
I bet I know what that is.
but it's a weird revenge because it's not a good guy revenge movie. It's
Come
a
out,
bad
come
guy.
out wherever.
Yes, it is. Cape Fear. I love that film.
Didn't realize it was a revenge flick. I don't remember the exact story. I just know the basic premise. So
Yep. Robert De Niro's character gets out of jail and goes after the attorney that put him there,
Okay.
Nick Nolte.
Okay. Yeah. I remember who was in it. I just didn't know why he was after them. I thought it was just a random big thing.
I'd say my favorite, the scene that always stands out for me in that one is when Nick Nolte tries to pay him off, and he just goes through like how much he actually would be making off of that.
Yeah. Oh, he was good. Max Cady. I remember it vividly. Okay, so that gets us to number 3, Mitch.
All right. So a film that probably isn't on anybody else's list, unless I'll be pleasantly surprised, maybe Stefan. It is I think 2020 Danish film, which is my favorite film of that year. It stars the wonderful Mads Mikkelsen, who is always incredible. It is called The Riders of Justice.
Oh,
It is.
I thought you were about to say Headhunters. Shit.
That's also a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is essentially Mads Mikkelsen's wife ends up on a train, the car that derails, and it's attributed to a gang that has essentially done this to target a witness in an upcoming court case, and she happens to be just in the wrong place at the wrong time, essentially. So he takes it upon himself with the help of these sort of two, I don't know, how would you describe them, Stefan? 2 or 3 other guys who sort of figure this out. They're, I mean, for lack of a better word, they're nerds. They're awkward guys that are.
It's like IT people or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, analyzing data and hacking and stuff, and they come to this conclusion and bring it to Mads Mikkelsen's character and say, we think that it was a result of this gang, the Riders of Justice. And Mads Mikkelsen is a military guy, and he's like, all right, well, then I'm going to go kill everybody that had anything to do with this, essentially. And it sounds like a pretty straightforward revenge movie, but it really isn't. There's actually a lot of interesting humor amongst the other guys that sort of become a team with him trying to exact this revenge, and it doesn't always play out in the way that you would think. So not only is it great, it has some great action moments and really tense stuff, but some really great comedic beats as well, good character stuff. So I think all around it's just a fantastic movie that I don't know many people that have seen it.
Yeah,
It's very good.
So yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
I feel like I've seen that title in my Tubi dives.
It's a terrible name for a movie,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
not
why
a
I didn't
great
see it for a while.
title.
Yeah.
But the movie itself, I think, is wonderful and should be seen by everyone.
Titles are crucial. Like they can make or break a film.
Hey, Mads Mikkelsen, and it's a Danish flick. The last Mads Mikkelsen Danish flick I saw was The Hunt, and that movie was fantastic.
Yeah, so good. Another Round was amazing as well. If you haven't seen that,
Another Round.
yeah.
Try to remember that.
The premise is that it's a bunch of like friends who are mostly teachers, and they have decided that their humanity as like a species should have a minute amount of alcohol in their body at all times in order to be the most successful. So they're like drinking throughout the movie, hence the Another Round title. It's very good. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Explains why I'm not productive. I don't have alcohol. Hey, Stefan, what's your number 3?
Oh, okay. I don't know. My order isn't stacked by / I didn't really pick. I'm just like I'm
Just-
off script, man. I'm off
You threw
script here.
names on a paper and said, this looks good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Skin I Live In, the Pedro Almodovar movie starring
Nice.
Antonio Banderas and Elena Anaya.
That was on my initial list of movies.
Yeah,
one
I
of
have
the
a
10?
I have a really wild list. I think I can't explain the revenge. It involves plastic surgery that's forced on somebody, and if I explain it, it's gonna ruin it. So just watch the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's a really
revenge
great
film.
movie.
Trust us. That's the word we're getting.
Man,
here.
it also I was like, because I was like, I haven't seen a lot of these movies in aside from Hell or High Water, which I kind of watch yearly, and I guess Killing of a Sacred Deer I'll watch every once in a while. The rest I don't watch frequently. So I was looking up the plot and I was like, man, if I explain this, everybody's gonna think this is the worst movie they've ever heard of in their entire life because it's like so melodramatic. The plot is like almost ridiculous.
All right, we'll leave it at
Yeah.
watch it. Trust us.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, number 3.
I'm kind of picturing the way he said that, like it might be like a Spanish telenovela.
No, it's like it's played pretty straight, but it has like it's convoluted, but it doesn't feel like it to a detriment when you're watching the movie. But if I were to explain it, you'd be like, that sounds way too complex for what it's trying to communicate.
All right.
Yeah.
So my number 3, I don't know if you've heard of this one. It's from 1994. It's called The Crow.
I've heard of that.
Okay.
It's my number 1.
Yeah, it's The Crow. Do I even need to say anything?
No.
You
It's
know?
in my honorable mentions, which, to be fair, means it's in my top 10 Just not my top 5.
Okay, all right. No.
There are no losers
Yes.
in these lists.
You guys nailed it. It's my number 1. Literally, before we're on the air, it's like, oh, Stefan's like, I know the list. Rob's number 1. Boom.
I mean, but like it had to be.
Yeah.
It had to be. There's no way it's not going to be.
Yeah, again, because I always do my list based off how much I watch a film,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
that's why I had to make the adjustment that I did.
and I do watch that one so
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Okay. All right then, James, number 3.
My number 3 from 2004, the remake, Man on Fire. Because I have not seen the original, but
That's a prequel to Equalizer 3.
yeah, and I used to think that when I was watching, like, first time I watched the Equalizer, I'm like, oh man, this is good, but it makes me want to watch Man on Fire. And like, but Equalizer 2 is just as good, but they're both just below Man on Fire. And
But see, then Equalizer 3 brings in Dakota Fanning.
Equalizer 3 is it brings her back. Equalizer 3 is good.
Really?
It's just
Yeah. They're not connected. They're not connected.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
It's the fact that they're together.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's not the same character. It's
No. It's just the first time they've been
Okay.
in a movie since then.
Wait, I'm like, wait a minute.
It's a good close to the trilogy, but it's
Yeah.
not as good as the first or second. Anyway, Man on Fire.
Yeah, let's get to the film you actually picked.
Awesome. They kidnapped Dakota Fanning. It's similar to Man from Nowhere in that it's basically not his only friend in the world, but he's developed a serious bond with her. They take her away. He just like Christopher Walken. He's like, and they're going to regret ever touching a hair on her head. With one of the best scenes in any movies, Christopher Walken there.
Nobody takes my little girls. That's awkward.
Okay.
2004. That was the year I started at the theater.
Yeah, I got to stop saying it like that.
Okay. All right. So Denzel said that badass phrase first, 4 years before Liam Neeson came out with Taken, and I have a particular set of skills. That the father revenge figure has to have that badass, chill you to your bones line.
Oh yeah,
right?
but like when he's still trying to find the girl and he finds out that, spoiler alert, the father had something tangentially to do with it. He's just like, I'm gonna talk to your wife now. You move, you even say a word, I'm gonna snatch the life right out of you.
See, I was wondering in Taken, what if they took the girl and then called up the dad and he's like the manager of Baskin Robbins? What kind of movie are you going to get then?
Oh, my next pick.
There we go.
I'm serious. No, my next pick is going to be. Mitch already knows what it's going to be. So
Okay.
Okay. Let me see. My number 3 is back to Westerns because I love me a good Western. But this one came out in the early 90s and to me redefined Westerns. It's Unforgiven.
I knew that it was going to probably be on your list somewhere.
Yep. Clint Eastwood.
I have not gone back to it in a very long time.
Oh, I watched
but
that so
I
much.
know how of the regard. And yes, it was a great flick. But I
Everybody
remember of it.
in that cast is so spot on. Morgan Freeman. Oh my God.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman. Thank you. That's the one I literally had in my head and I couldn't think of his
Richard
name.
Harris,
Richard Harris was great as English Bob. Saul
Rubinek.
pees his pants. Yeah. But yeah, everybody just nailed it. And it's such a strong story.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
this is the only movie that I've wanted to rewatch for this podcast episode, and I didn't get the time. So good pick.
Well, now you can go rewatch it.
I will.
All right. Now we're on number 2, though. Mitch.
All right. Well, I think that Stefan and I may have the same pick in this slot here. You were asking me my favorite color, Rob, and you couldn't do black. And when you put blue, I thought it made sense because the movie that I've chosen as my number 2 pick is Jeremy Saulnier's Blue Ruin.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that your pick, Stefan, as well?
It was, but I might change it. I love this movie, but you go ahead.
It is a wonderful low budget revenge movie that sort of strips everything down. When I think this is what Stefan's referring to, when you get the manager of a Baskin Robbins trying to exact revenge. Essentially, you've got a guy who's just like an everyman who knows nothing about guns or anything, whose parents were, I believe it's both his parents were killed years earlier by someone who's now getting out of jail. And so he's taking it upon himself to get revenge on this person. But there's sort of some interesting turns of events where now the family's trying to get revenge on him. And he's just sort of like a fish out of water in all of this whole situation, which is really interesting to watch. And there's some great moments that just feel really real, for lack of a better word. This movie, I would say, is definitely a movie that inspired me in terms of when I was making my movie. I'm like, this is the type of movie that I want my film to be like, because it just feels pared down and gritty and real. And I certainly don't think that I come anywhere close to this movie. I think this is pretty much perfection, but wonderful movie. And I don't know if Stefan wants to talk about it or if he's going to pick something new, but that's Blue Ruin for me.
Yeah, this movie is amazing. The opening shot. So the guy isn't a manager of a Baskin Robbins, but he looks like he could be. Like he's just like a pretty average looking dude, but he's like homeless or unhoused, and his sister's like got along a little bit better in life. She's like married and in suburbia, and he just like couldn't get past his parents getting murdered, and clearly handled it differently than his sister. And he's like literally living in the car that they were murdered in. Like the car has bullet holes in it in the opening shot, which is like you only notice on a rewatch, which is like how wonderfully smart this movie is. It's good stuff. If I had to pick an alternate right now, I'd say I Saw the Devil, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I Saw the Devil rips. If anybody doesn't know, it's South Korean. I can't remember who the director is, but the premise is a kind of like security detail kind of person's wife gets murdered, and then he decides to hunt down the serial killer, which is kind of like a funny montage getting up to that point, as funny as like trying to investigate your wife's murderer could possibly be. But when he finds them, he decides not to kill them, but like constantly hurt them over and over and over again. And you kind of what would be an interesting pick about
kind of thing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting as a pick because it actually shows how like revenge sucks. Like it's not good. Like what he does, what he chooses to do is like causes so much more pain to people that who run into this killer's path while he's still alive, even though he's hurt, essentially. So good movie, but Blue Ruin, A+. So that's all I got.
Stefan's pivot to I Saw the Devil is my number one movie.
God damn it!
Well done.
All right, so
fantastic movie. Watch I Saw the Devil.
Yeah, you can talk about it when we get to it, and that's enough for me.
Well, maybe I'll have to pivot now and think of something new.
You made me pivot. You're gonna pivot too, baby.
That's right.
I totally missed it, but that is a great movie as well.
A double pivot?
Double pivot.
We've never had a double pivot.
Pivot.
Pivot. Jason, what do you got for number 2?
All right, so my number 2 is going to be 2 movies. So I consider them one. Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2. 2003, 2004. And to me, that is your quintessential revenge flick right there. They tried to kill her, she came back. And I love Tarantino's flicks, but he just gets a good vibe going, and that kind of gives a live action. Well, there is anime segments, but even the action with the live action with the Crazy 88 and everything is a very anime action style and whatnot. So just I love that flick.
It is, you're right. It's the quintessential revenge film because that's the premise of the film. Like, that's the whole story.
Yep. She's out to kill Bill.
She has a list.
Yep.
Checking it twice.
There we go. All right, then, James, what you got?
My number two, V for Vendetta.
Oh, dang.
Nice. I've not watched that in a very long time.
I haven't seen that since the theaters, yeah.
Every few years I'll check it out because it is a long movie and it's so well done and it's just sticks in your head. So I don't need to watch it all that often just because it's so ingrained in my head. But so good. Hugo Weaving's voice, Natalie Portman, and Stephen Rea as the cop going after them. Just John Hurt, who you only ever see on a TV screen.
And it was interesting because Hugo Weaving, being such the star he was, his face is covered the entire movie.
Yeah, and he wasn't the original pick for V. No, it was the guy. He was in the first. He was in Knight's Tale. He was in the first Resident Evil.
Oh,
British.
Rupert.
His name.
Rupert Grint.
No, not Rupert Grint.
I'm kidding.
Very early Rupert Grint.
young Rupert Grint.
No, James Purefoy from.
You were close.
That serial killer cult TV show with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, the following.
Yeah. Anyway, he was the original actor inside the mask, and I read in an interview that like only he can really tell what scene, because there's some scenes with him still in the movie, obviously not with his voice, but he can tell which ones are him and which ones are Hugo Weaving, obviously. But
who is James Purefoy on Knight's Tale?
He's the prince. The prince.
Adamar?
No, that's the bad guy. He's the good guy who he's the royalty who
like the Black Knight or whatever.
When he does the jousts.
Okay, I got it. All right. Yeah, I was thinking it was Adamar from A Knight's Tale, and I could kind of see why I don't want to pull it.
His name's Rupert something.
Yeah, exactly. That's the guy I was picturing.
Isn't it Rufus Sewell you're talking about?
Rufus.
There we go.
Rufus Sewell, yes.
Dark City,
yes.
V for Vendetta is a James McTeague movie, right?
Yeah, that was his first one.
I thought it was the Wachowskis.
What did he do after that? I know there was that Ninja Assassin movie, but was there any more career beyond that?
There was, yeah.
I think Wachowskis produced it, Stefan.
I
think McTeague is a Wachowski product, basically.
Yeah, because he worked on the Matrix movies. He did Ninja Assassin. He did The Raven. He also did. I think The Raven's good. But he did another movie with Mila Jovovich and Pierce Brosnan called Survivor, which I thought was deservedly kind of.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Direct to video. It's just not. It just doesn't live up to his previous movies, in my opinion. But
yeah,
it looks like he's been into TV. But then he did one. Breaking In with who the hell is that? That's Gabrielle Union and Billy Burke. Did not see that one.
So he's been busy.
He's been busy, but
we just haven't been.
Theatrical production's kind of gone down.
Low key busy.
Low key busy, yeah.
Gotcha.
Blomkamp.
Let me see. Well, my number
Gran
2
Turismo
might be the oldest one here because this takes place in 500 AD, I think. Gladiator.
I thought that would pop up. I honestly expected it already.
Oh man, Mitch, you have to fucking tell your story, please, or I'm gonna lose my shit.
All right, well, I don't want to interrupt Rob. We'll definitely get your pick in here. But when I was at work, sometimes I work night shifts, so I put it to a couple of coworkers of mine. I was like, okay, what do you guys got for revenge movies? Try and jog my memory, see if there was anything I hadn't been thinking of. And the one guy said Gladiator. And I said, okay, I get the revenge element of the movie, but when I think of a revenge movie, it just doesn't jump out at me. To me, it's like an historical epic. He gets put in the situation, he's fighting his way out of it, and then the revenge sort of presents itself to him conveniently. I still think it's a great movie. It just doesn't strike me like when I think of revenge movie. But I love Gladiator. But then he spent the rest of the night basically naming movies at me and then mocking me, being like, "Is that a revenge movie?" And I regretted my decision to ask him after that.
It's like, why did I say anything?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
Anyway, sorry to interrupt, Rob. I just like
No,
that was
those are the
too good
best
to
stories.
pass up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, to me though, I think it is the revenge because his whole goal after Joaquin kills his family is to get Joaquin, and he does everything he can to put himself in that spot. So to me, it fits.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
Actually,
I can't argue against it as a revenge movie. It's just not when someone mentions revenge movies that it jumps out as that kind of movie. But I
Fair
totally understand why it would be a revenge.
Yeah, but yeah, I this is one I watch a lot. Like, it's obviously the only one I watch more is The Crow because it was number one. But I like this movie so much. So yeah, that's my number 2. I'll stop there.
It's a great movie.
good movie.
But here we go. Now we're at number 1. Mitch, how'd you pivot?
So I pivoted to a movie that I've only seen once, but will definitely revisit. And it's another low budget, slow burn, pretty straightforward revenge movie, but I think just done extremely well, which is a Spanish movie called The Fury of a Patient Man, which, as far as the plot goes, you sort of don't really start to catch on that it's a revenge movie till a little bit later. Essentially, we're following I think a bartender or waitress who is, her husband is the driver for like a robbery or something that's taken place, who's gone to jail and now is getting out of jail. But in the years he's been locked away, she's been working at this bar trying to make ends meet, and a regular customer has sort of come to befriend her and her daughter, and that sort of being the case. But we eventually realize that the person, this regular customer, has ulterior motives for why he's befriended her. And spent all of this time over the course of the years getting to know her and sort of working his way into her inner circle. So I won't go much beyond that. Again, it's a slow burn. But to me, these movies are best when it is a slow burn, and then when the violence hits, it really hits, and it's brutal and real. So I think this is a great movie. Again, an underseen film that I think I just randomly found on Netflix a few years ago. The Fury of a Patient Man, Spanish movie, really good stuff. Definitely check it out.
Never heard of this one.
No.
Oh, you stumped James. That's cool.
Well, there you go. Now you got to watch it. And I think I don't think it's a long movie either, which I always appreciate. And I think it's the director's first film as well, which is knocked it out of the park. Definitely watch it.
Nice. Well,
Interesting.
excellent pick. Thank you, sir. A good pivot. A very good pivot.
Had to do something.
All right.
Because I torpedoed you.
All right, Stefan.
I
What
mean,
do you got?
I could have like 4 number 1s on my list that I could pick from. Ultimately, like Mitch, I want to go with a little scene 1987 indie gem about a cop who just gets killed, gunned down, and then comes back as a robot. My pick is RoboCop, baby.
Oh, that's brilliant. I totally blanked on that one.
Comes back as a robot. Okay, so fucking
Yeah,
Paul
That's home
Verhoeven,
revenge.
Yeah.
Peter Weller.
Once he unlocks his memory, yes, it becomes a revenge flick.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Nancy Allen, a great
It
partner.
qualifies.
It
Judges.
definitely qualifies. Like
Ding,
he,
ding, yep. Judges.
It so qualifies because even when he doesn't have his memory is trying to force him to do it anyway.
yeah, this is like it's exactly like a Death Wish or like a vigilante style movie where he is trying. Yeah, it's just the same thing, but he's a robot and he's like struggling against what people have imposed on him in terms of like the structure of like what he's allowed to execute. Miguel Ferrer, the late Miguel Ferrer, is
Yes.
wonderful in it. Kerwin Smith is so good.
Mm.
Ronnie
Slimy-
Cox.
the slimy-
Ronnie Cox.
You'll see Red Foreman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you fly, Bobby? Like the lines are like they're burned. They're burned in.
He takes the pin of the grenade out with his tongue.
Yeah.
hmm Oh, he's mean.
Yep.
That
Cops
damn.
don't like me, and I don't like cops. Boom! Like
And
it's,
When
everybody
they're
knows
booking
these.
him,
Yeah.
He spits blood onto the desk. That was not in the script.
Yeah.
And then give him my fucking phone call.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff. I love RoboCop. Again, I could have like 5 other movies here on my list. This is the weirdest list of things that I've picked.
Yeah, given what you had prior to that for RoboCop to pop up at the end. That was a surprise.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. All right, then. Jason, you need to top that.
Well, I can't top that, honestly, no. But having to rethink revenge flicks and having to go by sheer number of watches, I'm going to go with the third part of a trilogy.
Jay and Silent Bob
2007's
Strike Back.
No.
This is like yet another fucking joke that we
It's
had.
in the title.
That's not revenge. Not what that's their premise is not exactly revenge.
They're going after all the internet
I'm going
people.
with 2007 Ocean's 13.
Okay, that follows. Yep.
Okay, I love the Ocean's movies. I love a good heist movie. And going in knowing it's the third one of the trilogy and all that, okay, how are they going to twist things? So I watch it and I'm like, okay, now I think that's going to happen to this. But then the reveal happens and no, I didn't see that they were going to actually double switch this. And yeah, it's just they take it to a whole nother level.
The bed bugs.
Oh, the poor guy that they torture. He's like the 5 diamond judge guy.
It's awful.
Inspecting every inch of the room, and they just destroy that room in the minuscule ways. Like they infest it with bed bugs. They infect the glasses with something. He ends up sleeping in a chair. He's got a ugly looking rash on the side of his face.
It's awful what they do to the poor guy.
He goes down to this one fancy restaurant where he gets like sushi and it's just like one little piece. Well, they have a guy down there and he switches out the fish for something that's gone bad. So now the guy spends half the night throwing up. They just torture that man.
This does sound very revengey.
And
I was going to say, we got to
the
see
revenge.
that guy's revenge movie. When
Yeah.
he tries to get back at them.
He wasn't even part of the revenge. He was just another part of their whole overall revenge scheme. Because in the third one, they're out to get revenge against Al Pacino for screwing over what is that guy's name?
Elliot Gould.
Oh,
Elliot Gould.
yeah.
So the whole premise of the third movie is them getting revenge on Al Pacino.
You could even argue the first movie is a revenge movie. It's
It
certainly
is.
not in the
It is
same
technically,
linear
yes.
way, but
Second one is not.
But
No, the second one
similarly,
kind of is because it's the French thief getting revenge on them.
Well,
Andy
Oh,
the
there's
greatest trilogy of revenge movies.
there's always revenge involved somewhere, it looks like. Oh, there's Scott. What did he say? We talking revenge movies, you have to have Unforgiven in there. Oh, apparently we weren't watching from the beginning. I missed the beginning, so I don't know. Oh, yep, he did. Okay. But yeah, that was on my list. So yeah, that's definitely a revenge flick. So is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's in the title. It's got to be.
Stefan and I joked
Right.
that would be on someone's list.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
I did consider it, but I just didn't see.
Rob, my rationale was it's explicit in the title.
Yeah. Strikes Back. You could have the
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. There's a revenge film. Why is that on my list? Wait a minute.
Revenge of the Sith, everyone's favorite, right?
Holy shit, it's right in the title.
I mean, technically, Return of the Jedi was Revenge of the Jedi initially, too.
It was. I actually had the novel that had that title on the cover of it, and it
Oh,
got
cool.
destroyed in the sunlight.
Boo.
This is when I was a kid, way back when.
Yeah.
It was the single lightsaber cover, and it said "Revenge of the Jedi."
That's okay. If you look close, oh, it's not those ones. It's the special edition ones. They messed up in the art. If you look close at the one poster with Vader and Luke fighting, their lightsaber colors are reversed.
Oh, are they?
No, I heard about that.
Yeah. Vader's got blue and Luke's got red.
Because we all know the Imperial are the good guys.
Right? So misunderstood.
Yeah.
They're just like Johnny. the Karate Kid. All right, James, what do you got for number one?
Okay, as sort of a roundabout way to get to my number one.
Oh, here we go.
No, and say what you will about this movie. I remember watching that Paul Walker movie, Running Scared.
Yep.
And watching that one, thinking like it was one of the movies where I thought, how much worse can a man's day get? until I saw my number one pick, which beat it out for how much bad luck can happen to you. And it's 2002's Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
Oh,
It was the first film in the Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy. And it's just so brutal because you have a deaf mute guy and his girlfriend, and his sister is dying, so he's trying to get a kidney transplant for her. Well, their plans fall through in the most awful way because he goes to the black market to get the kidney transplant. They screw him over, steal his kidneys. Voila, there's a match for his sister suddenly magically on the black market. Yeah, because it's the ones they just stole from him. So they end up deciding to go for ransom and kidnapping the guy who fired his sister from her job. Well, he decides to commit suicide for whatever reason in front of the building. And so they change their plan. We're going to kidnap the daughter of the CEO of this company. And he decides to take the most brutal revenge possible on them. So
interesting.
Oh, it is so good.
What is the other movies in that series?
The second one is Old Boy, and the third one is Lady Vengeance, sometimes called Sympathy for Lady Vengeance.
Okay. See, I thought that might be the series. I'd only ever seen Old Boy.
Yeah, and at the time Old Boy, the original Old Boy was coming out, I remember I was waiting forever for that one to come to the store, and then they had a foreign film section with a lot of there was a company called Tartan Films that put out a lot of the foreign films.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that it's like from the makers of the second movie in the Vengeance trilogy or something that referred to Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. When it's like, well, this one was actually before it, and it opened the trilogy. And I like it even more than Old Boy, although it's close. And then Lady Vengeance is still good, but it doesn't measure up to the other two. But yeah, my number one.
Honestly, I didn't pick Old Boy because I thought somebody else would have picked it on the list.
I was surprised Old Boy wasn't picked as well. It's not a movie I go back and revisit, but I figured it would. I mean, we're talking about it now. But I figured somebody's going to have Old Boy.
It was in my top 10.
Yeah,
I considered it at one point.
I think everybody avoided it because everybody thought everybody else would have it.
No.
Yeah. Womp womp.
Here we go. James says his list of 5 are The Crow, Dark Man, Last House on the Left, The Punisher, and A Man Apart.
Oh, nice. A Man Apart.
Yep.
I had The Punisher originally in my list, the Thomas Jane one.
I did too.
But that's the one I had to bump out when I shifted everything else. So,
dang.
I forgot about A Man Apart.
Yeah, and I don't have to mention my number one.
right? But you can, because we're going to be watching it later this week.
You know what? That is true. We will be watching it on Sunday at the Chatham-Kent International Film Festival, our special screening after the festival's over.
Yes.
Because that's how we're doing it. We're doing our whole festival Sunday at 5:30, our awards, and then our 7 o'clock screening of The Crow with Rochelle Davis.
Nice. I look forward to finally meeting her in person.
You didn't meet her last time?
I was on the cruise. That was the year I wasn't here.
That's right.
So, no, I have not met her in person. Talked to her a few times on here, but
son of a gun.
So this may be my first time meeting her in person. And I don't know if you saw Mike's comment on one of the posts about the show.
Nope.
He's boycotting. He knows that she's out for Big Onion because she hates onions. His family has onion farms, so there will be a boycott.
You can tell him not to boycott now because she hated that line. Literally, her and I were working on a small script.
He doesn't believe her.
Oh, listen to this. Her and I were working on a small script, okay? And I put in that reference in the script just as a callback. And she goes, that has to come out.
Oh, it's that kind of reaction.
Yeah. She didn't want to say it. Okay. Alex made her say it.
Okay.
She goes, this is stupid. Nobody says this.
Should I wave Mike off? No onion references? Is it going to trigger her?
Hey, we'll find out.
All right.
He takes his life in his own hands. That's
true.
all I say.
He's retired now. He's got plenty of time to recover.
That's right. You can sit on that couch and nurse those broken legs. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming on. And again, thanks for the topic, Mitch. Gotta go
Thank
see it.
you.
Let me just. I was all ready until we changed topic, but there it is. Twilight Ride, the Forest City Comic Con Film Festival.
The Forest City Comic Con Festival.
Yep. Forest City
October
Film
15th,
Festival.
7 p.m. Buy a ticket, come see a movie, and hopefully enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, shut up and don't tell me.
You can slap me in the face.
I thought you were about to say get your money back. What?
no
When,
chance. Keeping all that money.
Oh, James said, "Good job, guys. Thank you, James. This was fun."
Thank you.
When
Thanks,
you go on
James.
the website, it's fcff.com, right?
Yes.
And you have to click under events, and all the films are alphabetized, so it's near the end because it starts with a T.
Okay.
It took me a bit to find it, so that way I've eliminated all that for all y'all.
You should have called your movie Aardvark.
Right?
Game the system, baby.
Next time.
Triple A Twilight Ride.
I'm curious though. I wanted to hear some of the honorable mentions that maybe weren't discussed. I know that there were a few from at least James.
Yeah, I've got like
James
10
has got
movies.
5, and Jason's got 3, maybe 2
I
now.
think I got 2.
The
Yeah.
Crow was already mentioned.
Yeah.
Count of Monte Cristo got bumped down, so that would have been another one of them. John Wick was mentioned. One I just rewatched last night with my wife. Law Abiding Citizen.
Yes.
That's right.
Even though he makes it clear in the movie that this is not vengeance. Come on,
It's revenge.
It's totally vengeance.
And one of the more subtle forms of vengeance, Nocturnal Animals.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Just like
Tom Ford, yeah.
I'm going to take revenge on you by just writing the best script or novel ever, and you're not even going to realize I'm ripping you apart. and then you're going to fall in love with me, and I'm just going to ghost you.
That's like what's his name said in A Knight's Tale? Chaucer. Nope.
But there's also like the story within the movie, a great revenge tale in there that weaves elements of real life. It's very, very good.
So there we go. James actually has an 8 on his list because he just picked I Spit on Your Grave 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, the sequels to the remake are not very good. The remake is pretty brutal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one hurts to watch a lot.
But I saw the 2 sequels to it, and they were not good.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
Taken was not on anybody's
Ah,
list.
yeah.
No.
That would have been had I not made my adjustments.
Or Taken 2.
And but I also had for an honorable mention, even though it's been a very long time since I watched it and an all the amount of times when I was way too young. The original Death Wish from 1974.
There you go, Mitch.
I've
Death
never
Wish is on here now.
I've never
Okay,
seen it.
and I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I just remember how intense that movie was. And I was old enough to know that, well, yeah, that happened to his family. Yes, he should kill them back.
Kill them back.
But it was also, I do remember,
Kill them
well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it that to me, that was warranted revenge.
Yeah.
You know, even at a young age, that to me, that felt right.
I think you could look at this whole list and find that. Because like literally the Crow, they killed him.
Mhm.
So yeah,
So he's
deserves
gonna
to
kill them back. Yes.
right?
That one actually he does.
Yep, exactly. But James is right. Spit in Your Grave is graphic. That's what it is. Because it hurts sometimes watching some of that stuff happen. Oh, I still watch it, but it hurts.
I don't like squirming in my seat watching that shit. I just
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, guys, again, thank you so much. Stick around after the thing. Don't log out.
run away.
Yes,
I'll stay for the thing.
that's right. All right.
After party.
Woot, woot. In that case, for another week at the Movie Madhouse, I'm Rob,
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
and our buddies. Oh, they moved.
Mitch.
Stefan and Mitch.
And remember, you can catch them on Drag Mitch to Hell. Season
bet.
4 is already going, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Get out there and catch it. We'll see y'all later.
Ah.
Bye.
I say shut up! It's a madhouse!